Check, check. Welcome in, guys. Appreciate you guys being on time. Tried to send the link out a couple minutes early, but couldn't get my Thinkorswim set up. So slightly delayed. We'll give it 1 or 2 minutes, let people trickle in, and then we'll jump in, you guys. But put your request in the Zoom chat if you want me to look at something specifically for a day trade or a swing or for shares. Let me know. I got 1 or 2 big tech names I'm looking at as well. So a few more people trickle in. Gonna send out 1 more message and then we'll get started, guys. Appreciate it. All right, we got our usual 8, 9, 10, 11 people. See all the regulars. Appreciate you guys. Hopefully you had a good, at least from the markets, a 3-day weekend. My name is Starts1K, one of the staff members here in OOT. Glad to have you guys in here. I'll keep an eye on the chat, having some requests come in. Just a quick recap, you guys, kind of where we're at, where we're going, what I think might happen. We're going to start with SPY as usual. SPY is the ticker. I'm on the 4-hour chart right now, and if we go back to Sunday's lecture, I know we kind of talked about that 602.35 zone. As we can see, our price action Monday through Wednesday, ultimately sell down pre-market. I think this was CPI this day, and a big buyback up, and ultimately a push over. And an important thing to watch, kind of push over this shaded area here. And what that kind of signifies and what, how I would play that. So we always talk about, or at least in my lectures, breakout, retest, breakdown, retest. We can see the shaded area here, and I'm going to scroll left slowly a little bit more just to kind of see how that plays in that level there around 610. Okay. So I believe this zone here from December, I think that was our peak, our all-time, that 608 pock up there, how we kept pushing, rejecting, push, reject, push, reject, failed breakout, ultimately, a little bit of dip in December. Okay. We came back to it in the end of January. Push up to that 610, sell down under 608, sell down under 608, 608. So now we have broken over, for the first time in how long, this zone here. So for me, you guys already know where I'm going with this. Basically, this 610 tomorrow, if we open at around the 610, this is and should be your point of emphasis, your point of basing your trades around. So, like I always say, any breaks under, and I'll zoom in on a smaller time frame chart so we can get an idea of what we're doing and how to do it. Any breaks under that zone, looking for bearish, for some puts down here for a day trade. Depending on where we're at, you can buy the dip, or any holds, even better. Any holds in this zone here, it correlates with Friday's, these are 4-hour candles here. So correlates with that, and it correlates to that price action here. And I want to touch on that a little bit on these 4-hour candles here, because I had a member message me, basically on Friday just saying, hey, nothing's working for me. And I literally said, brother, don't worry about it. Look at these, look at the 4-hour candles. And if we take a look at these, you guys, this right here, when we want to study candles, that shaded area, that is literally indecision. Top side wick, bottom side wick. Nobody's winning right there. Okay, in intraday within that 4-hour, yeah, price pushed up there, closed here. Intraday with this candle sold down here, but ultimately sellers or bears didn't make any progress on holding it down here. The next 4-hour candle, same thing. So if you guys were having trouble a little bit on Friday, don't beat yourself up for it, because this is literally just indecision, back and forth, range, chop, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So for me, you guys, again, anything around this 610, I'm gonna go a 30-minute chart here and zoom out just a little bit and kind of see how we can play off that and how it still makes sense. So again, the 610, this line right here, we can see how price action, when we pivot over and under it, how we can build a trade off of that. So people on Friday, they've seen this move here likely. They likely seen this move here, and they drew a line, and they played off of that very well. Okay, candle body, excuse me, closes at that, pushing up. Okay, candle body closes, push up, sell down. People trying to catch the continuation down, but ultimately bought back up. So we see again how that 600, or excuse me, 610 is that area of focus tomorrow. So I'm hoping we kind of trickle in here like I always do with my drawings. And any bounces here, again, whether it's 5 minutes after the open, or we kind of range here and we get this touch 30 minutes after the open, that's up to you guys to decide your risk, how you want to do it. But for me, I would try and play all bounces off that 610 until that fails us. And if you buy a little bit of time, for me, you got to kind of hold for these stops here, these wicks right here, these candle body closes here. But again, you guys play SPY and SPX. I'm not saying take XPX here when it hits this level on SPY, when it correlates, and say and hold down here, because that's going to be, you know, a pretty big loss for you. A 50-cent down move on SPX, you're going to be hurting pretty bad. Or even 0DTs, you take a 50-cent loss down there, you're going to take a little bit of a hit. So these levels I give are ideas based on, you know, if tomorrow's Monday, you take a trade. You know, if you buy a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday contract on SPY, you know, to me, you got to be able to see, like I always say on every trade, you got to be able to see a little bit of red. You can't expect to take the trade here and see, you know, 1 or 2% red, and then it just rockets right up. You got to have a little bit of risk on for a larger reward. You know, your risk is down here. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody on 610, how I would play that? And to the bottom side, we can play the same thing. Any sells below that 610, okay, we can take our targets down here. We can take our targets to here, into here. Definitely trim heavy, start hitting that shaded area. Remember that old support top, old all-time high zone? Okay, trim. And definitely for me, we come to that 608, I'd be all out personally. Does that make sense on SPY for everyone? How to kind of trade this, how I think we should trade this. And then of course we break this. I think this is a new all-time high zone. So you basically just ride, you ride your EMAs, catch your EMAs, your VWAP, your hourly 20, whatever it is. You just ride the trend if we get a big trend day. Okay. I don't see any questions in the chat regarding this. Perfect. QQQ. Let me zoom out a little bit. 4-hour chart here. So again, Sunday was this price action. I know for sure we talked about that 522.31. And look at how we pushed, retest. So again, breakout. You know, if you didn't get this pre-market, that's, you know, we're options traders. We're not caught that. Sell down, breakout, retest of that zone. I know I talked about that zone last week, you guys. I hopefully marked it. And then boom, breakout. So a breakout, retest, boom, it was on. So QQQ, I believe, did we make all-time high last week? I wasn't even paying attention. I think there's all-time high here from mid-December. Someone definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but definitely QQQ plan. Got a couple more lines in here. I'm gonna grab that wick right there. That candle body closed there. We'll grab that top wick after hours and that line there just to get us going. So we scan left, we can see how this kind of sort of correlates again. QQQ, you know, nice bull trend. Breakdown, retest, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Just go to the 1-hour chart, a more detailed zoomed in look. So again, same thesis, you guys. Any retest of these levels, any break and hold, your first opportunity, your first thought should be calls. Buy your dips, calls, or we sell under a breakdown, retest, puts. Okay, take it to the next zone. But right now, we're in a very strong trend. This hourly 20, this yellow line here, to me, you can short when we sell under, but if we're selling under here and we're still claiming that hourly 20, to me that doesn't check all my boxes to short an uptrend. Meaning this is our uptrend here. I want to see a breakdown of some EMAs. I want to see a breakdown of VWAP and the hourly 20. I like to have all those stacked to my favor for confirmation when I'm going to take a short. You know, because we have a clear uptrend. Doesn't matter if it's 1 day or 10 days. There's a clear uptrend right there. So any breakouts of that 539.17-ish, that was kind of quick charting. 537.69, another area to watch, and 535.75. Okay, ride that trend again. All-time high. We've never been here before, so you literally just have a day like this, like on Friday. Follow your EMAs, follow your VWAP, follow your hourly 20, and you just ride that trend up. Okay, I would not be shorting until we see weakness across the market. Your Apples, your AMDs, Microsoft, Nvidia. Any questions on QQQ, you guys? Pretty quiet chat. 25 people in here. Okay, I'm either doing a good job or no one has questions. All right. Okay. Yes, I see your request, Patel. Gotta go in order we see them. Always start with Q, SPY, Q, Q, Q. All right, Miguel wants NVIDIA. Let's start with that. We'll get to your guys' watch list request. I think, did we talk about this last week? All right, Sunday, breakout, retest a big support here. Fitness, are you near? Yeah, I know fitness in here. We're talking about that. They swung, I think, Wednesday into Thursday. Yeah. All right. We talked about this. So I think we were talking on Thursday, any breakouts over this 135.54 and old support, or excuse me, old resistance right here is now support. And look what we did on Friday, you guys. Okay. Follow the money, follow the wave, follow momentum, whatever you want to call it. Textbook resistance right here. Breakout, retest, perfect retest, trend day. That's how you catch those calls. Okay. So you guys want some requests on NVIDIA, how we would do it? Let's zoom out. Let's get a game plan. We are halfway into this gap, or more than halfway if this after hours move holds. Okay. And we know that 140.78 to 141 pocket is huge. Okay. This big thick line, focus on this thick line when I zoom left to right. How when we get over, we continuation under, selling pressure, over, sell pressure, over, breakout, sell pressure, under, sell pressure, under, breakout, gap down under it. Okay. So your game plan, if you guys are swingers, or if you caught part of this move here again, there is price action between here. One could argue grabbing this zone here. I don't love it as much as the other big zones that I was talking to Fitness with about, but that 139.86, so we can call it 140 just for speed of the class here. Okay. So let's get a game plan. Again, we're halfway into this gap here. Our game plan on NVIDIA should be fairly easy. Okay. We have two options if you want to be bullish on this name. So any opens into, so between this zone and this zone, any opens, if you're not in already, for me, if you buy here, just say we open here, okay, 140.5, we'll just call it that. You're kind of in a middle zone. So for me, it's like a half entry size, meaning if I enter here, my mindset says, okay, there's support here not far below. If I enter here and I see red, I'm not going to cut right here knowing support is right here. Does that make sense, you guys? So for me, I would buy a half entry size and a second fill there, meaning average down intraday. And any sales below that, we're probably going to get a little bit weak on the day and test some of these levels here. That'd be a cut for me. So if you buy here, know that it's like a 50-50 trade, meaning we're going to go up here, we're going to tag this and probably get smacked down pretty hard. I imagine there's a lot of sellers there. Or option two is we come down and test this zone. And so for me, I like the lowest risk, the highest reward. So ideally, we open in between here. You don't take your entry. We dip down into here, and you slap some calls here at basically at 140. And ideally, you ride it up to there and you sell. If you're in 2 or 3 of them, you absolutely sell all of them. But one, if you're only in one, for me, I'm going to sell here and I'm just going to watch price reaction because I'm not going to be cocky and say I guarantee we sell through here, but I think we're going to reject pretty hard. Similar to, I'll get to it if someone requests it, but remember Tesla? I was preaching 357 all week last week. We pushed up that 357. What did it do? We smacked down, retraced pretty damn hard on Tesla. So NVIDIA, you guys, if you guys are in NVIDIA tomorrow, mark that level 140.78 to 141. Definitely need to trim. And like I always say, sell where the chart tells you, not your percent. So if you chase up here and you're only up 8%, you still need to sell and take profit, because if we come back down, your entry is here, you're green 8%, you're going to be down like 40% now if we come back down there. Okay. Option two, if we open under this, if you don't want to take your puts, how do you buy the bounce on calls? You buy Friday's close, or you can buy somewhere down in this pocket here. These candles here, or better yet, basically that 137.56. Because we can see we pushed over Friday, broke out a little bit, but we sold back down, okay? Buyers gave up a little bit, sellers took over. What did we do? Sellers got no follow through, buy back over that level, breakout continuation. So any sells into here, This is a fairly safe buy the dip zone, okay? But if you're in puts, you trim puts here at that close, you trim puts here, and you absolutely sell all your puts there, okay? I would not be holding puts there in this zone, but very nice range, you guys. I'm glad NVIDIA got requested because that's a very good setup. Miguel, hopefully that helped you. If not, let me know in the chat and we will come back to that, but I'm gonna move on with the requests. Brian Barbeshko, CL, that's is that, you want oil, is that oil futures, right? I don't play that a lot, or is that a different ticker name? Is that actually, what is this name that you want? CL, because I think it could be a couple things. If it's Colgate, that's totally fine. Let me know. I want to make sure I'm not doing, if it is oil futures, Discord member, a Joe named Joe, there's a lot better people in there that can help. But if it's with this one, I'm going to roll with Colgate. Is that the toothpaste? All right, I don't see anything in chat, so we're going to roll with this. Let's go to the daily. It's a clear, obvious downtrend, but let's see if it's coming in any important zones here. Kind of that 86 zone. Yep. All right, cool. So sell down, no love since basically September. But like I always say, even on a downtrend, I'm usually able to find some ways or some reasons to not necessarily be mega bullish, but some reasons to quit being bearish. And this one is quite obvious to me. And one more down here and top side. All right. So like I said, I'm on the daily, clear, obvious downtrend. We have sold through the daily 200. That is a large bearish indicator. We are below the 20 still, and we're trying to reclaim the daily 9. Okay. But more importantly, look where we sold into, just for a little bit of charting education, you guys. Sold down to this basically 87 to 86 zone. Okay. And we've held for since January 31st. So we've held for roughly 17 days, or however many trading days that is. And why are we bouncing there? Why are we holding there? It's very obvious from that early January level. And we scroll all the way back to last year, April, and then January level here. So that is why, you guys, when you chart, I personally never delete lines. I never delete my support resistance lines, because we come down in here and you miss this whole move down, and now you're trying to be short down here, and it's like, okay, why are we not breaking down more? Well, duh, there's a big support here. Even though it's over a year or almost a year ago, there's still obvious buy orders here. And now guess what? Sellers are exhausted, sellers not winning, whatever you want to call it. And so that's a level here, area of interest to watch. So you didn't say if this is options or shares. So I'm going to assume it's in options positions here, but let's see how I would trade this. So again, very nice consolidation phase here. If you are a swing trader, you'd get time, meaning late March, April, May, June, whatever it is, and you buy at key areas. You don't buy in the middle, you buy at key areas because you know your risk is small. For me, 1, 2, didn't quite get there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of bouncing off 85, 83. Okay, you think that level matters? Absolutely. So we're in a range. This can pay very well. This is a $1.20 range. If the options chain is liquid, this pays very well and will pay you very well. If you are buying at the bottom, selling at the top, calls, puts, take your puts down here. Calls up to here, sell them. Puts, rejection, sell. Puts, rejection, sell. Calls. You get the point, back and forth, back and forth. So how I trade this is you either set an alert and you wait for a breakout, confirm breakout top side here on this level here, and wait for this daily close over here, because we reclaim this top range here and reclaim the moving average, the daily 9. You have your 20 overhead not far below. So any breakout and hold, I'd be bullish on this name for swings or a day trade. Or if you want a day trade, it looks like if this after hours move holds, you want to buy your calls on support. Again, this support can't be more obvious how many times it's bounced here. Okay. If you want to be bearish on it, you absolutely need to get a sell through this. You don't take puts here, you take puts below it and a retest because you know your risk is small. Okay. Again, beaten down name, but this is not a zone I want to be bearish on, or at least bearish on swings. You can day trade puts for sure, but not a spot that I'd be wanting to swing short at all. Fitness and futures, KO puts break below 68.86. KO. This thing's been on a tear. Oh, brother. Or sister. I don't know. I never asked you if you're a guy or girl, but I think I can create this setup because I got something pretty similar. You said 68.86. Yeah, I can roll with that for sure. Just mark your spot for sure. All right, 4-hour chart, you guys. They said they want to go short. We got to have a reason to go short, okay? Big breakout, earnings, big earnings follow through. Let's focus on this level here as we look left, okay? We can see sell down since October, break over this level here. And it's clearly obvious why and how they mark that level. And I fully agree with this. So again, this focus here, we'll keep scrolling left. We see when that level gives down, they're looking at sell, sell, sell. Granted, that was probably earnings. That's maybe not very fair, but this is a better example. When we fail to break out over that level here, selling pressure, break over, continuation. Okay, so I can agree, and I see what they're looking at. And for me, you guys, again, when you short a trend, it's got to make sense. You can't just say, oh, it's up too much. Guess what? If people want to buy it, it's going to keep going more. So fairly easy trade for me. Let's see where this after-hour session, or excuse me, pre-market session opens up. But clearly, we need to play support bounces first on this level. But any sells here, and this is an easy short. Okay, easy meaning if we're wrong, we cut back over this, we break over this zone, excuse me, that's your stop out. Okay, and if we're just looking at recent price action, so we talk about risk reward, so this is my risk, this small pocket, and reward, man, pick a zone, pick that, all the way down here. That is your potential reward. I know there's price action in between here, but if we want to talk recent price action, that's a big reward zone there. Because other than that after hours candle there, there's not a lot of recent volume here. For me, that's an easy short on a breakdown and a retest. Okay. Basically that 68.86 pocket they mentioned up to 69. That is your stop out zone. But again, we need to see some weakness. We need to see it. Okay. We don't just short up here and take an average, like get weakness, see it roll over. This will be a break in structure. So uptrend, bounce support, we give it away. That's buyers probably taking a breather. Okay, nice request. Snow. Kind of like where we're at here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Patel, are you bullish or bearish on this name so I can give you some thesis or my outlook, my opinion? I'll get some levels on. I'll pay attention to the chat. Bullish, nice. Appreciate you on the quick response. All right, let's get a game plan for you. Are you in already, Patel? Damn it, why did I do that? Let me know if you're in already. If not, we can get a game plan on how to enter. All right, I see you guys in the chat. I'm not ignoring. We're going in order. I see Apple. I see AMD. Yeah, AMD. Definitely want to look at that one. Do not let me end class without AMD, because that's one I definitely want to look at. All right. So I got these levels on the 4-hour chart, you guys. Same method as always. Resistance, resistance, resistance became support, ultimately sold under. Breakout first time Thursday we held. Friday, I'm going to zoom in here. What do we do? We sold, but we sold right to it, and we held this zone here. So I really like this setup. So again, I got to get the setup I want. I'm not going to chase this setup. If I don't trade this name, but if I were, I'm just giving you guys my advice. So again, you guys, we need to be patient with trading. That is part of the trade plan, is having your levels set. Okay. Anything off 187 Patel, I'm a call buyer. Absolutely. Because I expect this volume here, this price action, to repeat. As in buyers taking over, sellers giving off, and we bounce. Okay. If this after hours candle holds, same thing, brother. Bounced off 188.71 basically, or maybe 189, this top range here. Okay. You guys, when I chart and look for entries, I look at candle. I always say this every week. I look for candle body closes. Like, so this big cluster here, let me clear this real quick and give you one more drawing. So this big cluster here, like that is all afternoon. That's volume back and forth right there. So that is why we open over that. I would expect that to hold. But if it doesn't, that's fine. We can get bearish on a day trade and take it down to the next level. But I expect that basically 188.71 to hold. Basically, I want to see some price action like this and boom, breakout, get that level there, breakout. So same thing. Holds level here, holds that level, trim. We look left, start getting these targets up here. You know, you're getting paid huge. You catch that move and you catch this whole move here and get that. Okay. Lots of recent price action here, but any sells under, get bearish on a day trade. Any sells under here, I'm leaning bearish, and then I'm looking to be more selective on when I take my call bounces, because it means we broke the daily 9 moving average, this purple dash line. You are now under support and a moving average, so that's not going to work for you. You're under the hourly 20. Okay, so don't fight it. If we break these levels, get bearish and then build your bullish game plan. When this hourly 20 creeps up here or whatever it is, but recent price action, that has to hold this week for me to want to be in that. Very nice request. March 2220 expiration. I'm trying to read the chat. Top level target for sure. Definitely get this price action. I mean, literally, if you're already in or you want to get this tomorrow, say we get in here, absolutely. Look left, you grab this zone here, you grab Thursday's close, which is also Friday's open. That's always a huge zone. Friday's pre-market high, boom. Okay, so you sell one, you sell another one, you sell another one. Maybe you had 5 of them, and now you sold 3 down to 2. Now you break out this last week high, and you look left. If it's all-time high, you just ride that trend. Or I don't think it's all-time high. You look left, and you get some larger levels. Like literally, you go the daily, and you go back as far as you need to go, brother, until you find what is above basically 195, and you mark those levels. And ideally, you should have that marked beforehand, because then all you do is you set alerts, and you go boom, wait for that to trigger. Set an alert here, boom, wait for that to trigger. You get in the trade, and that's literally all I do, guys. When I get in a trade, I have this as like a bell, and then the downside trigger, my stop out, is literally just a different sound. So like when I enter a trade, I'm not like staring at every 5-minute candle. I think the ding is what I do. Doesn't matter. That's just what I do. Like when I enter a trade, you guys, I put it in my tab, I put the alerts out, and I roll with it, and I just let for this to trigger or my downside to trigger, and I stop out or I take profit. So that's what you should do, Patel, or anybody else looking at how to build a plan. I literally just use alerts every single day. I'm not going to stare on every 5-minute candle going up and go, okay, boom, it hit this, I'm going to sell. All right, gotta scroll back up. Got snow. Tire a little bit late. We did SPY, QQQ, NVIDIA, Snow, KO. We're gonna hit Costco is next. Can just go in order. Oops, cost. All right. This one's been a fun one. I think usually Norvin likes this one, but super expensive, but definitely playable. Let's see where we're at here. Shit, is this all-time high? That's gotta be right. Quick check on the weekly. Yep. All right. All right. iPhone, are you in Costco or you just want a trade on how to play this? It's all-time highs, makes it tricky, but I'm not gonna leave you hanging. We'll get a plan going. Because thankfully it didn't close all-time high. It's back testing, even though this is only 1 day of information, 1 day of volume. We still have levels here to play off of. And we will treat those as such. Grabbing that wick there correlates with all that, correlates with that. Okay. Yeah, I shorted it and you're sweating. All right. All right. I see in the chat. What day did you short it and at what price level? You don't have to tell me how much you're down or whatever. Just tell me if you remember, was it like 1070 or whatever, and what day you shorted it so I can give you a better game plan. And I'll look at the chat. I'll wait for you. I get a couple levels here. 1050 put in the month, took it last week. What day of the week? Sorry, last question, just so I can kind of get an idea where you entered out of the chart, so it makes more sense. So Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, let me know. And then we will roll to get you a game plan. 1050 in the month. Hopefully you got a couple weeks on it. All right. So iPhone shorted it. To me, again, we're opening what I call the 50-50 zone. That is in between our top and a bottom range. We're in the middle. So to be bearish on this name, if you entered Thursday or Friday, the 11th, let me get out drawing mode. What day is 11th? That's right here. Ah, damn. All right. You got some work to put in. That's all right, though. We'll get a plan for you. All right. We'll try my best and not make you sweat it. So obviously, what I tell you is in hindsight, but this level here, if you got in anywhere, if you got in below this level, so say you took the sold down and we bought back up over that level, that would have been a cut for me, even if I have a month's time or 2 months time. It's just that is a reclaim of support. Again, this in hindsight, it's easy for me to say, but that's just how my mind works. Again, a support sell through, a support reclaim, and continuation. Like that's textbook on how and when to cut. But you did not, and you're still in, so that's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but we'll figure it out for you. So again, a sell down, you definitely need to sell under, kind of this little consolidation range here. So, see price action breakout or push up, sell down, a little bit of a battle here, sell down, battle, push up, ultimately sold through it. So to me, if you're itching to get out, you only have a couple weeks time. If you wanted, if I were to take an average, this would be it tomorrow, because I would sell down. You bought somewhere down here, so now your average is kind of sort of basically split in half. So if you took an average and we sold through this Friday close and you got down to here, I don't know if you'd be break even. I'm not saying just full port on puts, but that is an extra strategy. Okay. Or option number 2, sell down, wait for confirmed weakness and get a sell through here and a retest, and you take it down here. Because then if you do that, you'll probably be at break even here, possibly. Okay. So it's kind of tricky. If you take an average, again, it's not financial advice. It's just how I would look at something. If I held and go, okay, we broke the uptrend here, this is your spot. But again, if we break over and you're now after taking an average and we break over this zone, like it's got to be a cut. Like I'm not going to wait for it to come up here, meaning I'm in heavier and now it's even deeper red. Like it's just going to be a cut. It sucks if it pushes and you went like, 85% red, which is a bad trader. And then later this week over here, we come back down. You're like, shit, now I'm up. That's not good trading. If you go deep 85% red and then you sell 12% profit, like you made money, but that's not good trading. So a little tricky. Send me a DM this week if you need some help with this, managing this. But any sell, again, on that break of Thursday, Friday, kind of mid-range, you're going to be sitting all right. But again, look at that purple line, stair stepping. That's our daily 9 going to be catching up to you. So if that stacks right here at that big support, like, if you don't take an average and we sell through Friday, or excuse me, Monday, tomorrow, Tuesday, after hours. Wednesday we sell through, and now you're back at support again. What, like I always say, you got to play the chart. And if this stair steps, you now have a big ass support and a moving average working against you. So again, if holding or first entry, this is not where you want to be in puts. This is where you want to be in calls. And so if you don't take an average and you make it down to basically your entry point on the chart, you're not going to be break even. But to me, that's like, whew, it went against me. I probably need to sell here or move your stop and keep it tighter. Do not let it bounce there and go back to where you were 2 days ago. Because emotionally, that's going to suck. You're not going to be having a good day or a good week. All right. Checking the chat. Trying to go in order again, you guys. You guys have double requests. I will circle back around. Jomo, Jomo. I saying your name right? PANW. I know Tilio. I think he's kind of had his eye on this. We got some lines here. That's good because I know we've charted this. I've played it a few times, not frequently though. Downtrend, charted that sometime last year. Breakout of support at 189.2. Thursday, Friday price. That's earnings. We won't. I mean, it counts, but you know, it was still technical even after the earnings report. So, a breakout of support, a retest of 89.2, and now we're closing top range. A little something different for you guys. We're closing at the top range of the week. So not all-time highs or all-time highs from this year, but last week's highs. I mean, obviously this earnings wick. Okay. Last week's price action, we can see rejection, rejection, rejection. We're closing, attempting to close over that. Ooh, what's another thing we have? What do we talk about? Psychological numbers, you guys. 200, 100, 200, 150, 300, 1,000, 500. Think those levels matter? Absolutely. Look at that. So I marked this level here. I didn't even look left. Look at that price action around 200. Okay. I think, who was this? Jomo. Again, I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. 200 absolutely should be your focus this week. Okay. Zoomed in, look, 30 minutes chart. Again, 200. Absolutely. Break, retest, calls all day long. Where do I sell? How do I take profit? Absolutely. Friday's high. Thursday's high before the report came out. Okay. Let's see if I can zoom left without messing up my scrolling. And it did. All right. 200. All right. So again, breakout, retest. My first instinct is to be bullish on this name. But again, any sells under 200, it's a psychological number. It's that candle structure right there. I'm bearish for a day trade to this zone here, those wicks there. Take it down to this section here, okay? Fairly easy trade. Again, it's easy just to say that when it's in front of you. But again, a breakout retest. What I say when I say that, let me scroll and see if I can line this up for you. Look at right there. Breakout retest of that candle. So this candle here, guys, I'm on the 30-minute. So it opened here. A breakout. I know I say a lot. I'm just trying to, for the new people, a retest of support. And what did it do? It bounced, pushed up, and then it closed here. That is textbook. So that's what you want to try and play tomorrow. If you want to be bullish on this name, 200 to me is all that matters on this name tomorrow. And we break out that weekly high. You look left and you just ride that to your round numbers, or you look way left, you get a larger time frame, daily, weekly chart, 4-hour chart, and you say, hey, what's over 200? What's over 202? Okay. Very nice chart. And you guys that are requesting these names, like if you actually, I mean, hopefully you have me request it or go over it, like send me a DM. Let me know if this worked out, because I love going back. Like there's a couple of these names I set alerts on, and your guys' Zoom name is different than your Discord name, you know, which is fine. But it's like, I know these plays are hitting for you guys like big time. And that's awesome, you guys, because that gives me confidence you guys are learning and taking your own trades. So send me a DM or put on trade for, hey, we we tried this out on Sunday or Monday and it worked, like that's awesome, you guys, because there's some really good stuff last week. Whoever requested that Microsoft, little tangent here. Remember that Microsoft 412? I know we talked about this. We sold down, retest, like that's the easiest short ever, Microsoft 412. And I know someone's inputs, we talked about it. So let me know, you guys, if you guys, these requests that you're asking about, like it's fun. That's why we teach you guys. That's why we're here to help you guys. So take your own plays, you guys. Shelby wants Fubo. Shelby wants to be bullish. Let's see. Shelby, are you in this already or are you looking for a setup? Let me know in the chat. Oh man, we got a lot of stuff going on in the chat. All right. I am caught up on the chat. Just gonna wait for your response. Ooh, you want to be bullish. There's a couple things I like immediately on this. I always get excited. Oh, you're in shares, even better. Are you in already or you want to be in these? Watch the chat, let me know. Big earnings breakout appears. And if you're already in, if you don't mind your average, you don't have to say if you got one share or 1,000, but it just helps me get you a trade plan. Get some levels here. I'll watch the chat. Check this chart. Oh, we got some stuff to look at. All right. Got some old red lines. I must have charted this sometime. So, beat down name. This was, if you guys weren't trading the COVID area, this was, man, FaZe is not, I mean, he's in the Discord, but he's not here right now. But man, me and FaZe and other people, we trade this like back in the 50s and 60s price, like back in 2020, 2021. This thing was rolling. 414 average. All right. So, all right. Shelby is in shares at 414, kind of the middle of the range here. So just some things to look at, you guys. So big sell down, big sell down. We'll just say it sold through on basically 3 years ago, May 2022. Okay. Earnings breakout, sell down, sell down, sell down. No one loves it. A breakout and a hold. Okay. So now we're going to zoom in and figure out a trade plan, how to trade this. They're in shares, which is great. There's no time expiration. Okay. If you guys like this setup and you want a dollar cost in, absolutely. 364. Mo, yeah, Fubo TV. Yeah, I think, yeah, like the streaming company, I believe so. So if you guys like this setup, you want a dollar cost average in, 364 is your bottom. Okay. For me, your sell, or at least a trim, 471, because we can see how this level, remember way back 2-3 years ago, these levels are still lining up, you guys. Okay. So hypothetically, you bottom tick at 364 and you sell at 461, 29%. Who doesn't like 29% on shares? I mean, the S&P did great last couple of years, but on average, an entire year, the S&P 500 might average 12 to 15, maybe 18. Okay. And you can flip shares in a couple of days and get 30%. You're crazy not to take that. Okay. So Shelly, I don't know if you're in long term or just for a flip, but that's basically my game plan. Here's our range for you, or if you want to take a screenshot or a picture of the chart right now. 364, 409. This is a cheaper name, you guys, so every penny matters. Again, you can just argue that maybe 4 flat, but this 431 because I'm seeing wick rejections here, and then 471. So their average is 414. If they don't take another trade and they just ride up to 471, that's a 13% share flip. That's pretty damn good. If you enter, so they entered at 414, so they entered somewhere around here, or maybe years ago. But anyway, if their average is here and we get this move in 1 or 2 days, I will absolutely trim 13% on shares. Okay. Another thing I didn't mention, what is it doing now? These dashed lines, daily moving averages are now curling under. So we start bouncing off support. So breakout, retest, support, breakout, retest, support. So you now have supports underneath you. Now you got your moving averages right here underneath you. And that's the key metric for swing calls and for shares. Absolutely. Yep. I like your entry. Kind of the middle of the range, kind of the middle of the zone, but you got some stuff to work around. So even if it's shares, like if you're not in heavy, don't be afraid to take an average of 364 because look at that buyback reaction. 364, buyers say, nope, we're buying it over. 364, nope, we're buying it back up. Nope, we're buying it back up. Absolutely. If you're not in too heavy yet or a partial position, don't be afraid to get some more shares down here. Nice chart, you guys. All right, getting caught up on the chat. Quick drink of water. Trying to go as fast as I can, you guys. I see the question here. CTAS Synthes Group. Looks like a rising wedge. How would you move forward? All right. Just eyeing this real quick before I draw a line because I see a couple ways we could do this. I don't like to cheat and make a, rising wedge is not there. So I'm gonna go with this, guys. I know it's not perfect, but I'm grabbing this bottom. I know these after hours sells through it, but I'm getting the most touches here. That's kind of how I draw my trends. One could argue you should maybe grab this line, but then you miss those touches there. So I'm just gonna go with this one just for speed of class. Has the most touches, the most bounces off the trend line. And they mentioned a rising wedge. So we will get, let's see if this candle body close here lines up. So I'm grabbing right there. Not perfect, but I can kind of see what they're getting. All right. So it is a rising wedge. They said, how would I move forward? So this is typically a bearish signal. So, but it is not bearish until the wedge breaks down, because I don't know what year on SPY, people kept drawing rising wedges and SPY just kept going, yep, I'm just going to bounce this bottom trend line. I'm just going to keep going up. I'm going to break out of your wedge. And you guys that are trying to short this rising wedge on SPY, you guys are fools. Okay. So it is a rising wedge technical pattern, but again, we need to see a breakdown of structure, meaning a breakdown under the wedge for this to be, hey, the rising wedge, played out. So in addition to that, we need to figure out, we need to look left and go, okay, where is it bouncing on the trend line? And does it make sense on some levels here? So give me a second while I look left here, because I think there's a really, obvious level here. So I'm just going to do a one-line chart for speed of class, but also I think that's kind of all we really need for this setup. Maybe 2 lines. Okay, so focus on that top line that I drew first. We are bouncing this trend line. We are breaking over. I'll zoom in, you guys that are probably on your phone. Give me a second. So we're bouncing over this 204.22. So we get this push here, rejection, push over, and now resistance of many, many days is now support. Okay, so 202.22 plus your trend line tomorrow is really kind of the deciding factor, because we can see when we sell through, again, I'll zoom in on a tighter chart. If we sell through this here, we are breaking the trend line, we're breaking support. Okay, how important is that support? That was rejection there. We sold through, huge sell, earnings, obviously, so technical, not technical. Bounce zone there, and bounce consolidation there. So again, their question was, how do we move forward? To me, I need to zoom in, and then I need to give you your chart. So I would set an alert just to watch 204.22, but even better, I would be patient for 202.73. And why would I wait for that? So again, the market and making money, it's all about patience. Having a trade plan, having patience should be first and foremost. And when that trade plan works, you make money. That is your reward, is making money. You cannot get into a trade with no plan. That's how you guys get your ass kicked in the market. Okay. So a sell through this level, I'm going to delete this just so I don't want a bunch of alerts going off, but 202.81 basically, and why that matters. So a drawing, let's say we bounce this, but on, this is Tuesday, say Wednesday. So we break the trend line. Reason number 1 to be on alert for bearish. We break support. Reason number 2 to be on alert for bearish. We are now under our daily 9. Reason number 3, we are daily creeping up. So let's just say it catches up at somewhere around here. We sell through that. Reason number 4, we sell through support. Okay, you now have, if we sell through this support, that's what I was getting to, this 202.73. We now have 5 things working against us. And again, to recap, if we sell through this, you're like, I'm in calls, and it keeps going down. Well, what do you have against you? You have an uptrend. You got your rising wedge that played out. You broke support. You broke 1 moving average. You broke 2 moving average. You broke another huge support. Okay, to me, that is all, the merits of breaking structure. I say a breakdown of an uptrend, a breakdown, whatever you want to call it. That's where I would get looking to be bearish. Yes, there's a lot of support here, but that is a big break of structure there. So for me, I'm shorting the bounces, puts. Sell through some of this level here, puts. Okay, but again, if we keep bouncing these zones here, I'm not going to short here, and we bounce a little bit here, and then take another average on puts. No, it's like, no, take calls, and then get your confirmed breakdown. Because again, I don't care if you're in June contracts, this can keep trickling up, and this rising wedge can get as tight as it wants. It doesn't care about your puts. It doesn't care if you have 1 week expiration or 2 months. This can keep going. So to me, I really need a breakdown of that level there. All right. Ryan, Microsoft, if you're still in here, you are up. So again, you guys, we had those shorts. I didn't, but somebody had those shorts off 412. Beautiful. Breakout, sell through. Very nice. Okay. Thoughts on Microsoft for a swing long? 409, brother. 409. Okay. Let's look at this real quick before I get messy with some rollings. Does that make sense? Bounces, bounce, big buyback, huge bounce. Okay. Make sure you guys have after hours, the shaded area. Always have this on. Don't ever trade with after hours on. After hours tells you a lot of information. Those are big buyback wicks. Sell through, buyback. They want that 409 to hold. Sell through, buyback. They want 409. Sell through, buyback didn't reclaim, after hours reclaim. Okay, 409 this week. If we trade around it, that is your first plan of attack, Ryan. 30-minute chart. I'm already on it. Okay. We bottom snipe some calls. You take your own trade, flips, flirts it, whatever it is. Boom. Support bounce. Where do I sell? You better be looking at this pre-market action. Okay. You better be looking at these wicks on the 30-minute, the 1 hour, whatever it is. Take profit, not an R, a P, take profit 1. Okay. Start looking left. Where is the price action gravitating towards? Stuff like this. Okay. Quick messy line chart. TP2. Keep drawing an R, I'm tired. Okay. Thursday, Friday price action, absolutely up here. And what do? We get back to our moving average. Absolutely sell your runner. We go back to 412. What do? You be a smart trader. You sell everything. If you bottom tick this and you get a $3 move in 1 or 2 days, or we push up here, we push up like this the next day, absolutely. There's no way I'm bottom ticking, I'm holding calls up to a big ass resistance that rejected all last week. There's no way I'm not selling there. Does that make sense, Ryan? Hopefully you're still in here. Cool. Yep. Again, you guys, I keep telling you, DMs are always open. Say, hey, I got into this. I'm up this much percent. I know I'm giving you free levels here, but I'll make you work for it, you guys. If you send me a DM, just say, hey, send me your chart and I'll compare, because that helps you learn. It helps you chart out. I'm not trying to be mean, but if I just say, hey, slap these levels on, that doesn't really teach you anything. Okay. But if you say, hey, I'm in Microsoft calls at 409, like we talked about, I trimmed 1 here at 410.2. I'm looking at this level here. Does that line up with your chart? I'll be like, yes, awesome. Keep trimming on the way up. Nice work. So, all right. Jonathan, AMD. Yep. Guys, AMD, I think it's one to watch. Get no love. but we are coming up to a big level here. And I think this week, all right, 4-hour chart here, you guys. Some things to look at. Two big support zones here, basically. This could probably be categorized. I don't know the exact definition of supply and demand, what it needs to be, you know, whether it's a big area volume. But to me, I would call this a big supply area because this was a big demand area, was a big support, big bounces, big bounce. We sold through earnings. And what are we doing? We are trickling, we are climbing back up because guess what's going to happen this week as long as we're bullish? Excuse me. Buyers are going, you know what? We're going to try and push in this 114.46 to 116 pocket, and we're going to see if there's any sellers sitting there. Okay. Thursday, sellers, you betcha. Big smackdown. Friday, sellers, you betcha. Guess what? Bulls are determined. I'm not saying be blind bullish, but this is a name to watch this week, you guys. Big breakdown. Retest support. Big breakdown, retest support. Guess what? Buyers, they are not giving up. They're going to knock on that door again tomorrow, I think. Okay. So this price action here lines up with this, kind of lines up with this. If you can get entry around basically 113.75, you know, if we kind of trickle in here and you can buy off that pre-market, absolutely take your shot, some calls. But again, always have a plan, you guys. Do not be cheering, taking screenshots. Hey, I'm up 85% on calls. And I'm looking at the chart. I'm going, oh, man, that's cool. But you're at 114.46, brother. You better be selling. And then I message them, oh, I didn't sell anything. We're back down here. Why didn't you sell? Okay. This is a big level to watch this week, you guys. Again, I'm not in anything, but that's the spot to watch. This trend line, ride this trend. And if we break out over, resistance becomes support. Then you play 114. If you miss this, so say we gap up tomorrow, 114.46, absolutely take your calls. Any sells under, and you're probably going to see price action like this, sellers again creeping in. But if they break out, we hold trend line, we reclaim support. We now have curled under, or excuse me, over our daily 9 and probably our daily 20. And we go to a larger time frame chart. That's my golden setup to swing calls. So we're bouncing down and boom, we break out. What is that? That's a structure break, a trend line down break, a support reclaim, this whole area down here. Absolutely. You want to be a share buyer? We reclaim 114.46, get some shares down here. Absolutely. You're a swing trader, you know, you work all day, you don't have a bunch of time, you can afford, you know, May contracts or something on AMD. Absolutely. Off this level here, if we reclaim that and push up, you're going to get paid if we start testing these levels up here. Okay. But again, I've talked about being bullish. If we keep rejecting here, we can very well leg down as well. So don't get too excited on a bullish setup. Again, we have to reclaim this level here for me to even think about swings. For now, this is just a day trade zone in between a trend line and an overhead resistance. Day trade all day because calls and put swings, that's absolutely just a guess in between there. Yep, Jonathan, swings bullish. Yep, hope that answers your question. If not, again, DMs are always open. All right. Apple, then Exxon Mobil. And I think I'm kind of sort of caught up in the middle of the chat. What did I say? Apple? All right. Okay. What do we have here, guys? Resistance is now support. The shaded area. Big overhead resistance. Sold through it. Push up, sell down. That was earnings. Sold down the next day, I believe. Yep, sold down. Pushed up, rejected Thursday. Friday, huge day for Apple. Okay. So you Apple traders, easy. Breakout retest. Let's go to 30-minute. Shaded area still makes sense. Absolutely. So a trade plan. Again, I always say, when you look at candlesticks, look what it is telling you. So we look at those candlesticks there. This is support right here. Support. A breakout. Retest. Like I say, it's probably getting old. Boom. You hammer calls at support. Tomorrow, you do the same thing. That's all trading is, you guys. It's just trading repeatable setups that you know and expect to work. Okay. If I take calls here, I'm expecting a bounce just like this on Friday. Okay. You get into trades that there's no guesswork. If I get in here, I'm expecting candle movements like this. Big bounces up. I take profit here tomorrow. Okay. We sell down. I say, guess what? They're not going to bounce it. I sell for my loss, minimal loss. And I either look to take bounces here, or I get short and I get short, or I wait my turn and take calls here at support. But again, trade setups that make sense. This absolutely makes sense. 243.38-ish. Okay. Bounce calls first. If we open over that, either look for this price action up here, Friday's close, or you wait for a back test, or anything over Friday's close, same thing, breakout retest. So find key areas of interest, you guys. For me, it's support resistance, it's previous day high and low. So like previous day high, or you could, if we came down into here, previous day low, pre-market high low, like that can literally be your trading bread and butter for each thing. Every entry you take, okay? Don't make it difficult, you guys. So 243.38, basically 243 flat, 242.19. This pocket that was heavy resistance is now support. This needs to hold for continuation up. If this holds, absolutely ride the trend. Shares, options, everything. All right. Tyler wants Exxon Mobil. I think it made a good breakout and then a retest. Ooh. See, you guys, thinkorswim moving averages. If you don't have those on your chart, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. I mean, you're trying to catch this breakout. You're like, man, why is this rejecting here? Two moving averages stacked. Not one resistance, two stacked right on top of each other. That's why there's sellers there. That's why there's sellers there. Okay. Just want a quick look at that. All right. Kind of in the middle of a zone here, but still playable. Let me get you the middle of the zone chart here. Let me get one thing going. I don't want to go too quick on you, but just looking here, trying to grab those candle bodies. Yeah, I like this one better. All right. So that bottom side wick buyback there. All that price action from Friday. So Tyler, kind of a tricky trade. If you're still in here, like I always say, I grab trades off key areas of interest, things that are obvious. So one last look at the 4 hour, how we can see that structure. 110.58, once that gave way, sell down. Okay, 110.58, sell down. But 108.3, buybacks. Sold through, pushed up, failed, sold to it, and held. So 30-minute chart here. Again, kind of in the middle of where we'd play this. So if we trust this 30-minute candle here, you absolutely try and take your call shot here at 108.30 because you want, or like I say, I trade setups where I look to previous history. And if we bounce there, or excuse me, bounce here, I'm looking for a candle like this. I mean, that's a blessing. I don't know if we'll get that in a 30-minute candle. That's the opening candle. But my point is, you expect repeat things to happen over and over on these drawings here, or excuse me, on these charts. So breakdown, retest. I'm not bearish until this closes under, or a push up and you take calls and you trim everything. And guess what? These two moving averages that are stacked right here, they're going to come, dashed lines are going to come like this. We absolutely push up again. It's 2 moving average again stacked. And guess what? Other than this candle here, that's absolutely a double top from Friday. So take your calls up to that zone, or with caution, short that right there, because you're looking again, previous price action. If you take puts on an uptrend, it's got to make sense. Okay, can't just go because it's gone up too far. No, it's got to make sense. This 2 moving averages stacked overhead and Friday's midday price action, that's actually a good reason with caution to go short. Again, ride your calls up. We're day traders. Like, how beautiful is that to take calls, the first 45 minutes, hour of the day, and then boom, you take shorts and you take your puts down here, and your port's up 12%, and you're done. And you're done by midday. You're done in a day. 2 trades. Very tradable setup. Very nice setup. All right, trying to get caught up, you guys. We're running late, but I want to make sure at least one person gets requests. Mo, I see Mo in here. Let's get Baba for you, and then we'll do a SPY and QQQ recap. I think I got everybody at least one request in here. I know the chat's running, you guys, but it'd be a 90-minute lecture. Damn, Mo. Which one? Okay, what do you want, Mo? I'm giving you one. You want Meta? We did Apple. Fubo. All right, I see Meta like 11 times. We're doing Meta, but man, I think the thing's on a run. I mean, I'll do Meta if you want, but I would kind of rather do, what was your other one? Kind of rather do Pablo, but all right, we're doing Meta. I think it was on a run. For some reason I don't like it, but let's see what we get out of it. Yes, is this all-time high or no? Oh, what do you want, dog? Oh, it's 6 o'clock. It's dinner. Oh shit, guys, I gotta hurry. Dog's getting hungry. Are you getting hungry? You gotta wait. There's people on Zoom. You gotta wait, buddy. All right. All-time highs, man. It's simple, like I say, for every all-time high trade. Any breakout retest of Friday's high, you ride that continuation of your moving averages, your EMAs. Okay. Any breakdowns, you can play double top, risky, but there's some structure right here. Hey, I know you're hungry. Hold on. I know. Hold on. I'm almost done. Down to, so if you short around 740, take puts, but with caution, because this 737 to 736 level, all this price action here is going to be creeping up. So you don't want to be holding puts here and see all this price action here and go, shit, why do we bounce so hard? So puts are okay, but risky right there. It's better to, take your dips on calls right there. Or if you miss that sell down, you take your dips on calls there. But we start breaking under that, that's your safer short, is under that basically 736 level. Okay. Take puts down to there, take them down to there, take down this big support here, big support here. So anything on all-time highs, you guys, is a little tricky to trade. It makes it tricky because you got nothing to go off of other than fib extensions here. Okay. SPY QQQ, a recap. Like I said, you guys, your focus all week or early in the week, 610. Any opens over this level here on 610, you buy or dip on SPY calls. Okay. And then it's probably all-time high zone, ride that trend, just keep moving. Any sells under 610, there's some big bounce areas. So don't just blindly dive in on puts. You can take put scalps or for a day trade, but no, we're at that recent price action there. QQQ. Ride that trend. 539.17, 539 flat. Take your calls absolutely until that trend breaks. Okay. 539.17, 537.69, and 536, the 3 biggest recent and closest levels to pay attention to. With that, you guys, I'm going to end the chat. Appreciate all you guys being here. A lot of people trickled out already, but any questions, you guys, send me a DM. We'll chart it together. Michael, where can I get a list of all your charting setup tools? You know what, for you, take a screenshot, brother. This is everything I use. If you need help importing them, let me know. Volume splits. I think that's from Assassin, our member in here. Multi-time frame moving average. I don't know who we got that from. So it's the daily 9 I talk about, hourly 20, daily 20, moving 9 EMA in our daily 20, and then VWAP. Okay, so screenshot. That's literally everything I use, you guys. I don't clutter my, I mean, you see it. If I go the daily or weekly chart, I might use RSI or something like that for some divergences, but it's got to be a larger time frame. I don't use RSI or anything else like that on a smaller time frame. So that's what I use, you guys. Again, DMs are always open. Send me a DM, Michael, if you need some help setting it up. I'm not super good at Thinkorswim, but I can work my way around it good enough. But with that, you guys, I'm in the chat. I appreciate you guys all being here. Let's have a great week. It's a short week, so be mindful of that. And I will see you guys all tomorrow.